think it's going to be in 2.5 hours, 2 to 3 hours. I think it will start coming together.
Right now, we need to prepare him. We've got less than 24 hours to have him ready, running. I'm saying it calmly.
I know, I'm not having a wheelchair.
No, it's not going to happen.
Everybody in this room, even myself, Sharon, was bent over backwards.
There's no way this car is ready for at least another 5 days. Got less than 24 hours, 2 o'clock tomorrow. Carl Fogarty is driving Project Bruno. Are we going to make it? Stay tuned. So welcome back to pretty much, this is episode 3 of Project Bruno. 1965 Fiat 500X Ducati Evoluzione. We have got a Ducati 996 engine from an ST4S in the back there, straddled to the bespoke roll cage by SW Motorsports, and those two pipes give way to the twin Superbike Terminiones that are going to absolutely scream at approximately 8,000, 9,000 revs. Decided to take him to SEMA, but there's no point in taking a standard Fiat 500 to SEMA. We are taking the 500X Evoluzione, the Ducati evolution of that. Why marry a Fiat 500 to a Hayabusa bike engine, and you can marry it to an Italian heart and give it that crazy sound of a Ducati 996 engine with Terminione. This build is insane. This was a vision for me, from the 600 LT, air intakes on the side, the roof scoop on the top, the bonnet scoop, and keeping the Ducati petrol tank at the front as well, to the array of neon light kits that have been put into the car. The front end with headlights and fog lights and more lights, cassava rear trike axle marrying the engine to the powertrain, the rear movement, airlift performance, shock absorbers, the race seats, the harnesses, everything Dip Monkey have done in-house here in this humble, small backstreet garage in Southport. It's phenomenal. And then finishing it off with a lowrider inspired paint. Right now we need to prepare him. We've got less than 24 hours to have him ready, running and on the go-kart track with none other than Superbike world champion Carl Fogarty. From handing over the bike originally to driving Bruno as promised, we have got a lot of work to do. I've got a broken leg. Other than motivating everybody and feeding everybody, there's nothing else I can do other than watching them get on it. Let's go.
Okay, so where do we start with this? We have got 24 hours to go. This is Project Bruno, and we've got a lot to do still. And in the last couple of weeks, I'm not going to lie, this has been quite a stressful build. Making all the parts line up, making sure everything works, because a lot of these parts that we're fitting were our ideas. But no, we've had some real late nights. There's been 5, 6, and 7 a.m. finishes. We have really pushed the boundaries to get Project Bruno ready for SEMA. And yeah, guys, we're really feeling it.
Taking a closer look at what needs to be done. Obviously we've got the firewall coming in, but all the wiring is in. The steering wheel is detachable and Bluetooth controls the air horns. It's phenomenal. From Andy to Harry to Dave to Dan and Claire and everybody around them to make this come together. Zian from Elite Carbon Composites has been up here to fit the carbon roof, the bonnet, like the finish is exquisite. We've got more friends in from National Windscreens to do the polycarbonate windscreens, race windscreens. Like everything, every corner of this build has been.
I know that's just come off, but it's
true perfection. As I stand here right now, we have got 14 hours to go until Project Bruno is driven by Carl Fogarty, World Superbike Champion and King of the Jungle. But everything out here, from the carbon fibre bonnet to the doors, to the trick bits, the fire extinguisher, the wing mirrors, the hydraulic handbrake, the gear lever, coolers, radiator, pedals, Termignoni pipes. Look at those. Always wanted a bike with a pair of these, but I'm not a bike rider. I don't trust myself with 2 wheels. So what we're doing, we're putting a Ducati engine on 4 wheels. We've got the front end there. We've got the trick rear lip, which takes the Petrolheadonism. We've got the petrol tank and the air ride tank. Those emulate the Carl Fogarty helmets with the Lancaster rose on them as well, taking that little bit of Britain back all the way to America. The 2-piece floating discs for EBC alternator. We've got so many parts. All of this needs to go in Brno. 14 hours to go. Stay tuned. It's 9:30 at night. We've come away from the garage to get food, and massive respect to everybody, but I think nobody's addressing the elephant in the room. It's not going to happen. There's no way this car is ready for at least another 5 days, and that's full on days. And as I said, massive respect to everybody. Everybody's doing everything possible, but I can't expect them to achieve the impossible. Don't know how it's got to this point where Bruno's fighting us, but it's going to need time to be perfect. And this is what they call a SEMA crunch. So it's time for pizza, and I think time for a frank conversation where we just be realistic, pragmatic, calm, collective, and come up with a plan. But looks like we're cancelling all the PR arrangements next week, which is sad. There's no way Carl's going to be driving this car 2 p.m. tomorrow. It's not even going to be. It's not going to even be starting up tomorrow. Hopefully, we can push it into Ducati Preston for that moment. I've got food booked, so I've got drinks booked. So let's at least do that, eh? Let's do that. Let's go get some pizza. Claire, stop. Everybody just stop. Just stop a minute.
Yeah.
Let's think pragmatically. This is not finished tomorrow. This is not finished this time next week.
It is going to be finished next time next week.
I'm saying it calmly. I'm not having a go at
I know,
anybody.
I'm not having a go at you, Cherry, but we have busted our bottoms, mate, and all
not
they've done
just
is
that.
laugh at us. And it's not fair.
Nobody is. But we've got to be realistic, and there's no point trying to weld tonight to fix this problem.
Yeah.
We haven't got bolts for the oil coolers, we haven't got bolts for this, we haven't got that. There's no way the interior is going to be in it. So we push the car into the Ducati Preston one eye of how the car looks from the outside, and then you have it back. I cancel everything I've arranged for next week, and I just get on organising network. You guys get on with this. I'm just being pragmatic, being sensible, and trying to be as calm as possible about it, because everything everybody's put into this build is unbelievable, and I'm not taking anything away. And all Dan has done since I've been here is polish, and he's got another 3 days of polishing to do.
Everybody in this room, even yourself, Cherry, was bent over backwards. And everybody else has gone, oh, well, you know, and then it's had a massive knock-on effect.
So 2:30, it's Friday, and it's been a fraught but also very productive morning, and we've had to make some changes. A bit of a reality check with how much Bruno needs. Obviously you've seen me go through all the stuff that was on the tables to get in there, and as I went through those in the video earlier, it's just a mammoth task. Everybody is on it. Claire and Dan didn't leave till 7 a.m. this morning. Andy was here till 2 a.m. Uncle Dave had done 12 hours by that point as well, and so Kevin. So midnight we left it, and overnight we regrouped, thought about it, and came in positive and strong this morning. We've put back Carl Fogarty driving the car, but we are still showing up to Ducati Preston tonight with a 95% finished car. Look, The plastic windows are in the doors. We've got the side scoop, slidey performance windows from Plastics for Performance. We've got the Ducati tank in. We've just fired it up for the first time. Sounded insane. So the new plan is we bring the car back to Dip Monkey tonight after Ducati, and they'll have another full 3 days to get Bruno tip top. Stay tuned for Carl Fogarty's reaction. Right, time to pop out from the shop. Sometimes I'm kind of there and I feel like I'm exuding pressure on everybody by saying 1 hour to go, 40 minutes to go. So we're on our way out. The dash lends itself perfectly to having a decal, and obviously we've kept decals and like branding to a minimum on the car. We've got DMG on the front badge, which looks amazing when you see it. We've got Petrolheadonism in the rear grille. You know, we've got some trick little bits here and there, but nowhere does it say Fiat 500X Ducati Evoluzione. Yeah, so we're just going to go pick up those decals, the decals for the EBC calipers, because those calipers are the only two in the world that exist, and they're on our project. It's all about EBC exhibiting at SEMA, and you know, they've got the 4-pot calipers that you can buy off the shelf and the big brake kits, but it's also shown off at something like SEMA that you can build something bespoke, and that's why it's so important. And so decals now, I want them on for tonight. The car's going to be 95% finished. I don't think we're going to have the chains on. We're not going to drive it, but we are going to start it, and we want the reaction of the crowds and see what it is. And kind of like, I've seen your video, Scoot, that we're playing at the presentation tonight. It's quite emotional. Stay tuned. Next up, we're loading the car into the trailer, hopefully at 4 o'clock as planned. We've got an hour. Let's go. Massive hello and thank you to Claire and Dan and the whole team at Dip Monkey. Give them a round of applause there. Ladies and gents, please make your way outside. Russ, you ready to start? What an amazing evening it's been. So many trials and tribulations, and it is like one of those episodes for real where you've got a deadline and you don't make it, and it's all last minute, hands on, and certain things weren't done. But we got Bruno to the unveil with Carl Fogarty. The feedback has been sensational. He's 95% finished. So the guys have now got 3 days, and just bring them back in. Something's come loose on the front steering. They've got to work on that. It was just put together to get it there, and hope you enjoyed the flames because they blew us away. So tune in next time when Project Bruno gets to SEMA and we unveil him, not only at Nebworth, but SEMA, Las Vegas. See you then. Thanks for supporting. Ciao. It's Bruno's last ride here in the UK. Time to ship my car.